Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's another Schlumberger model 4910B SSB analyzer. And I think the whole idea is you should use this together with the stabilock. And the stabilock is the one that is connected to your transceiver, and then you get the audio from the stabilock to this one. So it's an audio band SSB analyzer. This is at least what I think so far, because everything here is audio tone related, and we can see some different tones and all that kind of stuff, frequency ranges and whatnot. Other than that, I really don't know exactly if that is not the truth, because we also got some input and output here. This could also be antenna signals, but you will need some frequency mixers or down converters. Otherwise, you don't know where you are, right? So we got some 80 megahertz stabilock, this or that. Maybe we'll find out a little bit more if we look a little bit at the back. We've got 4 tones. We can generate the different levels for each of the tones, and here is an input and an output. We can even listen to it probably, or this is maybe just a level, and an attenuator that goes all the way. Wow, 80 dB range, and a nice CRT with some timings and some frequencies and some dBs. Here at the back we got a dual power supply option, so it can also run on external 12 volts battery, and of course the ordinary mains connector. Many different voltage standards, so that's good. I should probably change this to 230. Maybe we can just I need some tools to do that. We got a 10 megahertz input, and we got a lot of different things going on here. Made in Western Germany, of course. Let's look a little bit inside. First we see this RF box, and I took away all the screws to speed up the process a little bit. And look at that. I think those are relays, right? So we got a lot of relays and filters and mixers and all that. And I think it is analyzing on IF frequency bands, and it's automatically detecting the frequencies in standalone mode. Of course, normally it's supposed to be working together with a stabilock, but if you're using this as a standalone, you need to come with a standard IF frequency like 455 kilohertz or 10.7 megahertz, or some of the other standard frequencies like 9 and 6 megahertz. It should also be able to detect and demodulate that. And here is, of course, all this RF section with demodulation and all that, and then it will sample this. Oh, I will show the sampler and the display system in a second, because look at that. Here is a normal CRT with a magnetic deflection system. So we've got 2 wires here going to deflection amplifiers. I think down here we got those transistors down there. That's probably the deflection amplifiers, and then here the other one goes to this system down there. It's probably in the high voltage section. And that is a normal, like a television set CRT, where one of the deflections, the horizontal deflection, is actually running the high voltage oscillator at the same time. So the deflection is just in synchronization with that. So that is more or less how a CRT like this is working. And up here we got, of course, a power supply. It's not doing a lot more than that. The transformer and the little regulator, transistor and all that. Here at the left side, yeah, we can even see the CRT right there. We got the picture memory. And you can see here, it's written right there in German. So I believe we got some AD converters, some memory, probably also some DA conversion and stuff going on somewhere. So it is, yeah, like a digital storage oscilloscope, or more or less. I can't wait to see if this is working. But it is in a pretty good state. I'm a little bit worried about those capacitors here, because I did, of course, work with a few stabilocks from more or less the same age, and it was definitely exactly this brand of capacitors. They were all blown up as well, and I think I can see this one is bent up a little bit. See, it's probably not easy to see on the video here. So at the bottom, we have, of course, a nice, loud, and clear high voltage warning. And all the little circuit boards that's handling the different settings and things. I kind of like that. It's a little bit funny to see how this is not mounted straight, but this is just how they figured out to get room for, look at that. The potentiometer and the switch, they have different height. So hey, let's fix that. We want the switches to be nice and straight here at the front. So that means the circuit board can't be straight. That is a super cool solution. And that is, of course, analog board full of op amps. It's just an analog slow speed mode. It's in audio range. And then this board is handling logarithmic conversion, and you can see here this analog devices 755N is a log amp that will handle 6 decades of log conversion, and that is of course needed for the readout linearization. And that will be, again, the power supply from the other side. And again, I'm super worried about all those capacitors. But we got so many of them. It's going to take me 1,000,000 hours to replace all of these. So let's just pray to none of them are cracked or is going to explode or something like that. Because so far, I don't see anything leaked or blown up. So I think we're just gonna go and power this up and see what is going to happen. So let's try the first power on together and see what happens. So we got mains applied and nothing bad happened, so that is good. So this is the intensity. And it's using 50 watts, 40 watts. Hopefully we'll get in a little while. That it's using 32 watts, and I don't see. Oh, look at that! And we can hear the relays because it's sampling. So now it is in a telegraph system. What else can I do? Oh, you can even see the way that it's sampling. So that is in the telegraph relay test mode. Oh, this is... So I was able to get a camera mode here that didn't flicker so much. Let's see. Oh, it's really annoying. Because what I wanted to show is the storage capabilities. So when I go in and out here, we get some noise and then we can see it's actually... See, and then it goes away. This is the weirdest. This is the only mode where I can actually get it to read out something. And this is the telegraph mode. where you can hear it's doing some click click, and I put in just a wire here on this BUB, and there's, see, it's very sensitive, and any other signals, there's nothing. But look at that. All the other modes, I mean, I tried to put in anything. There's zero readout whatsoever. And there's a stabilock mode and then an auto mode. And I tried the different sensitivities. And I mean, we don't get any kind of... Funny with this, with the storage. See? Something tells me that somebody fried one of the inputs or something like that. What can we do? This is a little bit annoying. Look what I figured out. So this is the input where something is connected, and there's auto gain, an auto gain range kind of system. So this is the background noise. It just gains this up. So now I input 455 kilohertz with a little bit of AM modulation. So this is 75% AM modulation, and my AM frequency is 10 hertz. So if I change the AM frequency, here we go. This is 19 hertz. And now the picture is nice and stable. So it is just a lucky interference lock with the scanning system here. So yeah, we are capable of receiving or demodulating the IF frequency of a modern receiver that is running at 455 kilohertz. And I think this proves this unit is working. For whatever reason I haven't yet figured out, all those, see, they're doing nothing at all. This should be bandwidth and frequency, all sorts of things, and none of this is working. And I don't know why. I've been trying to find a manual for this unit, and that is just not possible. Super bad luck. But anyway, I think it is sort of working. I just don't know exactly what to use it for. So if you have a cool idea, please come with a write a comment so we can figure out what we can do of cool analyzing this or that with this one. So thank you for watching so far. Hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.